Okay. So we have discussed in yesterday's session, not yesterday, day before yesterday. Okay. How we can extract data from a sequential file and load the data into another file. Load the data into another file. Okay. And we have loaded in table also. Okay. So sequential file stage, table definition for sequential file stage for 3 output link using. Okay. So now let's see another exercise about the sequential file, and also we'll see the file pattern. Okay. So file pattern, how we can import the file pattern. Okay. So sequential file. Sequential file stage. So here last session we have imported the file for metadata for comma separated file. Now let's use pipe delimiter file as a input. Okay. And we'll be loading data into three output files. Okay. So what are those output files? One is sequential file. Okay. So let's create a new file. Okay. One is tab delimiter file. Tab delimiter. Okay. Another one is file set. We'll load the data into file set and data set. So what is file set, data set? We will discuss in upcoming sessions, maybe on Tuesday's class. So here file set represented with .fs. Okay. Data set represented with .ds. Okay. So here file set represented with .fs and data set represented with .ds. Okay. So why we use file set and data set? So these are used for temporary data storage purpose. Okay. So what are the precautions need to be taken care while loading data into file set? That we will discuss in depth in maybe in Tuesday session. Okay. So now let's go to sequential file only. Let me open VM. I have not opened. And few people are facing challenges in opening VM. So at the end of the session, I'll give some tips. Okay, so you have to follow the same. And also I'll be sharing the recorded video in our group. Okay. And also I have created one WhatsApp channel. Okay, so you can follow that channel. If there are any upcoming videos which I am going to upload in YouTube and upcoming communication, so that details I'll be posting over there. Okay, so I have posted interview questions. Okay, so how this interview question, I mean, what are the common questions they will ask? And I have, along with the question, and I also have provided answers. Okay, so you can watch those recordings. Those who are those who are attending client interviews. Okay, so for them it will be beneficial. So even after completion of the course, you have to watch those videos. Okay. Yeah, so VM is open. Let's me maximize this. So here I kept in sleep mode. So that is the reason it has opened very quickly. Okay. After Thursday's class, so I have kept in sleep mode. Okay. So now let's open a new file. Okay. So no sequential. If I take a new parallel job, and here what you can do? How many input output links here? 3 output links. Okay. So now go to file stage. Go to file stage here. So in the file stage, we need to consider first. It's not much. So file stage here, drag and drop. Okay, so drag and drop sequential file stage. And also here drag and drop sequential file stage. Okay, and now file set. So we're using two output files, right? One is one file we are loading data into file set. Other one we are loading data into file set and data set. So I have drag and drop the data set and file set. Okay. So now let's use transformer stage. So now go to processing. So transformer. Okay. Okay. So here we need to have pipe delimiter file, right? Okay. So now what we will do, go to files for practice. So here we have only one file. Okay. So I hope everyone created this folder source and target. Okay. If you not created it, please create. Okay. So now we have to go to our data dictionary. Our data dictionary is in files for practice. So here we have all the list of files. Okay, so that we are going to use on our regular session. So now copy this EMP pipe. Okay, Control C. After Control C, after pressing Control C, then go to source, Control V, copy paste. Okay, so now this is the file. This is the data file. So here we have pipe is the field delimiter, that is a separator for column to column. And first line here we have column header. Okay, so now let's define the sequential file. Okay, so now go to that path source. Okay, C drive source and choose this particular file EMP pipe. Okay, so now what you can do is specific file. It's a specific file, right? So we are not dealing with pattern and all. Okay, so now let's see. Now let's see what is this option. First line is a column name. So first line is a column name is true. First line column name is true. Okay. So set to true here. First line column name is true. Set this to true. and keep the file partitioning, let it be default, okay? And continues the rejects we'll see in upcoming exercise. Now go to format. So this is very, very important step. Format, final delimiter is end. So how we can predict this final delimiter is end? If you come to the end here, department number. So for example, first record, okay? 20, I press the arrow button, okay, beside of 0. Then it is moving to the next line, see? So that means the data is final delimiter is getting end. Okay, so then you need to consider end. Okay, so here it has some list of delimiters that has been provided by DataStage system. And here always is default is end. And field level means that column to column. Okay, so earlier we had seen the final delimiter means record level. So record level means entire record level it is, you need to consider it. So this is entire record level. Field level means, so this is field level. Okay. So what is the field level delimiter? Field to field delimiter, that is pipe. So here system has default predefined delimiters like white space and end, none. So none will be used for whenever you are reading data. I mean, whenever you are reading data from a fixed width file. Okay. And nulls. There might be a chance of nulls. Okay, null data. Null data means what? Empty. Nothing is there. Correct? So here comma. So comma we have seen in last session. Okay. So now we are going to see tab delimiter. Okay. So tab delimiter is it's like I have shown you how the tab delimiter will work. So here our delimiter is, what is our delimiter? It's a pipe, right? So now let's see. If it is others list, what you can do is shift enter above button, that is pipe. Okay. And if you see the files here, we don't have any double quotes here for the string. So you can delete that, press on delete. Okay. And if there are any nulls, okay. So in field defaults, if you click here, you can see if there are any null field value. Consider single space. Okay. So here we don't have the TMP pipe, right? So now how we can import the metadata? By clicking on load. Okay. So here in last session, I have shown this import table definition sequential file list. So this is one method. Another method is directly here you can go to import table definition. Okay. So now go to sequential file stage. Okay. So now what you can do? So choose this directory where our files are located. And our files is text files. If it is other files is always select all files. Okay, for example, .dat format, other formats, I'm saying. So now emp underscore pipe.txt. So click on import. Okay, click on import. So a new window will be opened. Okay, so here default it will support tab, space, and comma separated files. Now, if it is other delimiter, you have to enter like this pipe. Okay. So first line is a column name. You need to enable this. Now click on define. Okay. So here, what is the difference between the default length and the displayed length? So anyone has any idea? We have discussed in last session. So what is the difference between displayed length and default length?
Default length is a maximum character of a SQL type, and display length is a maximum size of a
length, maximum length.
Yes.
So here we have for any data type. Okay, it may be integer, char. Okay, it may be string. So string in the sense here we have char, var, char, and for any data type. Okay, so in data stage, so they have maximum length predefined. So when you try to import the metadata, it will consider for maximum length. For integer, it will consider 10. For varchar, it is considered 255. Okay, so that is the default length. And what is the displayed length? Displayed length is when you choose the file. So this is the file that you are choosing, emp_pipe. In this file, for this column, employee number, maximum length is 4. Okay. And here, employee name, maximum length is 6. You can see here. So, for example, here Martin. So, Martin length is, total length is 6, right? Smith. Smith length is 5. King. Okay. So, King is 4. Okay. So, maximum length, it will consider. See here, Miller, 6. So, it will consider the maximum length. Okay. Even for other fields also. Okay. Someone is saying something.
Length, is it auto detector or we have to mention it?
It will be automatically it will display based on it will scan the entire data and it will display here. The displayed length. Okay. So it will write a SQL statement, select so and so column. So in this file, what is the maximum length? Maximum length, comma, that column. So that will be displayed in this window. Okay. So here to keeping default length is meaningless. Why it is meaningless? The reason is we are not using that entire length. It causes this unnecessary space that is going to utilize while while running the ETL job. To avoid all these things, what we can do, we can consider the displayed length as 4. Or you can consider this display length. Okay, 4 for plan number. This is 6, 9, 4. So here higher date. Higher date is higher date for length, no need to define for date data type, no need to define the length. So default it will consider as 10. Okay, no need to define. And here you can see salary 4. Okay, and you can give 4. So here department number 2, commission 4. Okay, department number 2. And here we are handling nulls. Nullability default, it will consider as no. Sequential file does not allow null values. So we are handling nulls. Okay, so to handle the nulls, we need to define the nullability as yes. Okay, set the nullability to yes. Okay. Okay. Now click on OK. Okay, when you define the nullability to yes, okay, and you handle the null field values. Okay, so here what happens? It will read the entire data. Okay, so now go to columns again, click on load. You can see here, EMP pipe. Earlier it was not there, right? Now we have imported. Now click on OK. So I want to add few columns. Add all columns. I want to remove one column. So this is the remove. Okay, remove all. Add all. For sequential file, you have to define every column. Okay. So now let's view the data. Okay, so here we have 4 columns. Okay, Okay. Once you are able to view the data, that means your job will extract all the records. Okay. So that is very, very important. Okay. Yesterday, a few people came that they are unable to extract the records. So you have defined all the properties, but if you don't define any of the, I mean, like some properties is missed. If you are unable to view the data, then job will run, but data won't be processed. But when you view the data, that means that the data also will be processed to the next stage. So here now we are able to view the data. Now click on close, click on OK. Okay. So now let's see. Double click on transformer stage. So drag and drop. Okay. So let's do one thing. Let's rename this links. So it's confusing actually. It's a sequential file. So this is dataset. New dataset. File set. Okay. Now double click on transformer. Okay. So here drag and drop. So how the mapping can be done? Control A, drag and drop. Okay. And the next one. This is the file set, right? Control A, drag and drop. Other one is Control A, drag and drop. Okay. So the mapping has been done for 3 files. Now click on OK. Now let's create this tab delimiter file. Or you can create any file, comma separated, however you want. Okay, so let's create a new file. Tab delimiter, emp underscore tab dot txt. Okay. And first line is header if you want, consider true. Okay. And format, double quotes I don't want. Field defaults here, delimiter, you need to choose tab. Okay. And null field values, define the null field values. Also won't get rejected. Okay. And the next step is columns. Columns already came. Okay. So this file set and data set we'll discuss in depth on Tuesday session. Okay. So here it represented data set with .ds. Okay. So emp data .ds. Okay. Give the name like that. Click on OK. And similarly, file set also give the name. So here file set emp data .fs. Okay. And keep the options as default. Okay. So we will discuss these options in next session, Tuesday session. So here it has to define like a sequential file. Let it be comma double quotes now. Null field value single space. Okay. So click on OK. So this is our third exercise. Now save the job. So job design got completed. So this is the option to save. Click on here. Go to jobs. So here I have created a new folder. So exercise 3, data copy, sequential to FSDS, file set and data set. Okay. Give some name. So the name, job name should be unique. Okay. So now click on save. Okay. So this folder, click on save. Now run the job. So when you try to run the job, it will ask for compile. So now we have saved the job. Next is compile. So this is the blue bubbles, right? So this is the compile. Or you can press F7 from the keyboard. Okay. So I'm pressing F7 from my keyboard. So job started compiling. Or you can click on this blue buttons, or you can come to file and you need to click on the compile option. So whichever is convenient for you, you can do the same. Okay. Now compilation got completed. Okay. Now run. Now click on run. So run, how we can, this is the run green button. And here go to files, this other option run. Control plus 5. Control plus F5. So that will give the run button. Okay. So I'm running from here. Okay. So here you can see we are not applying any logic. We are dumping the data from one place to another place. Okay. The same exercise data copy can be done by using copy stage also. Okay. So we use transformer. Earlier exercise we have done with copy, right? In the Thursday session, copy. So what is the difference between copy and transformer here? So when you are dumping the data from one file to the multiple files, if you use transformer, then there is a performance issues will come in your job. Okay. So to avoid those things, what we can do is we can use this copy stage where your performance, job performance will be good. Okay. So that is the difference here. So we are not applying any logic. So transformer stage, we can apply multiple logics. We are not applying here. We are dumping the data, just passing the data, however it is coming from source and loading into target. Got it? So if you use copy stage, what happens? Your performance, your job performance and data loading also will be faster when compared to transformer. Okay? Yeah. So any questions, guys, in this assignment? For date time. So for date time, there is no need to define the length actually. So it will consider, if you mention data type as date, default is 10. No need to define the length for date data type. So that is the reason I have kept empty. Yeah.
Jesse, since we are using sequential file, for example, if you have a n number of files in that source file, and we need to pick on particular based on the date, how can we pick that file?
Yeah. So that is separate scenario. So we have to parameterize that date and we have to define in the that file path. So the date has to be picked up from the file, and that has to be parameterized. So normally business processing day.
Can we get an example, or can we?
Yeah, we will do that one. We'll do later, not now.
And can we read JSON file as well?
Yeah. JSON file also, yes, we can do it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, any other questions? Okay. So now let's consider another scenario. Like till now we have read only one file as an input. How we can read multiple files, file pattern. Okay. So this is very important topic. And how I can read multiple files at a time. I have files, 4 files I have. I need to read all the 4 file data. 4 files data. How we can handle? Okay. So 4 files data we can handle. We can handle by using file pattern. So what are the prerequisites that we need to take care to handle the 4 files? Number 1, delimiter should be same. Delimiter should be same. Another one is data type also should be same. Okay. So here I have files like this. I will be receiving a UMP underscore some date 2024 01 sorry 04. Okay. So some 16. Okay. So UMP underscore 2024 04 17. Here one extra 0 is there. Okay. .txt. So these are txt files. txt. Okay. So another one is UMP underscore 2024 0418 dot t. Okay. So if you receive multiple files like this, okay, so now the requirement is I'm receiving multiple files like this. My goal is to I need to load all the data in another file or a table. Let's load it into table. Okay. So .csv file I need to create, and I need to load the table. Okay. So how we can achieve this? So here by using file pattern method in sequential file stage, we can achieve this. Okay. And also here, let's handle the null data also. Null data. Also null data handling. That we will see. Okay. So with this, we will conclude the session for today. Okay. And let's connect on Monday morning. Okay. So now let's see file pattern. How we can see the file pattern here. So here we have to go to data dictionary. So here there are some pattern files. Okay. So it's a older date. So let it be date, maybe anyone. So copy those 4 files, or you can copy this folder itself. Copy. Okay. So once you copy, you can place it in source folder. Okay. Now we need to, what is the stage that we are going to use now? We are going to use sequential file stage. Copy a new job. Sequential file stage. Okay. So here in the output, you can see the output here for earlier exercise. Okay. So this is the sample data of yesterday's one. Okay. The day before yesterday's one. You can delete that one as well. So here we have 3 output files, earlier exercise. Okay. So now let's see the input file pattern here, 4 input files. Okay, pattern. Okay, we have to read the data. How, see here file names are different. How we can read that? So here we have to use sequential files. So go to files now, drag and drop sequential file. Output also I'm loading into a sequential file. I'm using this .csv. I'm loading the data into .csv file. So now what is the requirement now? So here you can use sort stage so that the data will be sorted. Okay. So now let's make a connectivity. Okay. Right click, drag and drop. So here the read method you have to change. So when you read it to file pattern, what is the read? So here you have to consider the pattern. Now let's see. Go to source here, file pattern. Okay. So after underscore, so there are some different dates, right? So for that, how we can handle, you can use star dot txt. Okay. So this is the pattern, guys. When you use pattern, you have to follow this one, this method. File pattern. Okay. After emp underscore, what are the files? Are there that entire file data will be, it will read. Entire file data will read. Okay. So now let's see. I have defined this. And first line, you need to check whether it has column name or not. You need to go to each file and see. So whether sometimes normally these kind of scenarios, no? So normally they won't share the file to us. They won't. Okay. So normally they won't provide the header, not the file. They won't provide the header. So here header details won't be provided in real time. So here already I have a header, so I use the same. So if it is having header in file, you need to define this one as true. Okay. So what is the other one? So keep the file partitioning. So here default, it will be false. If you want to keep the file partitioning, you can set it to true. And continuous. Now let's handle the rejects. Okay. So output rejects. Okay. And progress interval. So here let's see. Yes, we will keep as default option. Though, so that means what happens in each step. So now go to format. So in the format, final delimiter end. So the next one is here delimiter. You need to check the delimiter of each file. Okay. So if you see here, all our files are comma only. Okay. So here you can see. So this is the comma separated file. No, I'm sorry, comma delimiter file. And this is also comma delimiter file. Okay. All are comma delimiter file. So now what I will do, I will mention the delimiter comma and double quotes. I don't have anyone. Okay. So nulls I'm not handling here. Okay. I'm defining the data. So here it looks like employee file only. Okay. So already we have imported the metadata, right? Okay. So that what you can do, you can define the metadata already imported files. Or if you want, you can import fresh one also. Okay, so let's see. Let's go and import the fresh. Let's go to that file, import sequential file definition. So you need to go to that part, file pattern. Click on OK, and you need to pick any of the file. Click on import. Okay, first line is a header define. So it's a delimiter is comma. Okay, so now define. Go to define here. Consider the display length. Okay, 6, 9, 4, date, no need to define. Okay, salary 4, commission 4. Okay, and department 2. Now click on OK. Now close. See here, file pattern. Okay. So click on OK. Nullability I have set it to no. Okay. Click on OK here again. Okay. Now here we are considering the rejects as output. So then we have to define reject file here. Go to zip file, reject, drag and drop. Okay. Mention the file name here, reject file name. So go to target folder, pattern rejects. Okay, so you can give the name however you want. .txt. So first line, if you want to consider as a header, let it be true. Okay. And double quotes don't need to mention. And click on OK. Okay. Now double click on sort stage. So here start stage, we have separate session. So here I'm sorting the data by using the key column. Okay. So key column is employee number. Now go to output. So here sorting can be done either in ascending order or descending order. Okay. So I'm choosing ascending order. Now drag and drop. Okay. Now click on OK. So here define the file in target. So here employee pattern dot CSV. Okay, true. Okay. So here comma is the let's consider since we are giving .csv file. So let's use here comma and double quotes none. Okay. And yeah, let's give OK. Now what we can do? We have defined the job. The next step is we have to save the job. Okay. So April. So this is exercise 4. Exercise 4. File pattern. File pattern. STQ file reject. Okay. Click on save. Okay. So now compile the job. Now run the job. So here you can, if you're unable to see this job completion, and if you click on run button, it will reflect now. Okay. So run the job. So here we are not handling the rejects. So rejects we are setting to output file. Okay. So let me open directory here. Okay. So here what happens? How many records has been processed? How many are how many got rejected here? You can see this flow and you can let me know. So here, let me maximize this. Let me zoom it, okay? So how many records processed here? So I will press
56.
56 processed. How many got rejected?
4 records.
4 got rejected, right? So now let's see in the rejected records in target. So this is the one. So here, wherever record president is getting rejected. So now let's see what is the issue with the president. So here after president, if you see, the data is null here, empty. Okay. So if you see the input data for president, okay, for each file, you can see for president here, king president, he won't report to anyone. Since he is the owner of the company, he won't report to anyone. So reporting manager ID is blank. So that is the reason these records are getting rejected. Okay. So now we have seen how we can handle the rejects. You can see the rejects log in the file, sequential file. Okay. How we can handle the rejects in peak stage. So normally peak is used to handle the rejects. Okay. So now I use peak stage, exercise file. Entire design is same. So instead of sequential file, you can use peak. So peak, we can study the rejects in the log. Okay. So click on save. Use save as. Okay. So instead of sequential file stage, now what I will do? I will use peak stage. Go to development debugging, peak stage, drag and drop. So here you can see all the records. So here we can capture few records, few rejected records. Okay, there is a limit that you can set. So if you want to consider all the records, then the partition wise, how many records you want. So if you want to consider all the records, all the rejected records, then you have to set it to. So entire rejected records, it will show in the job log. Okay. So here you can define in output file, or you can define in the job log. You can see in the job log. Okay. So now let's see. Let's go to input. So here nothing to define. So this is the rejected columns, right? Rejected data. So here peak is used to handle the rejects. I mean, like used to capture the rejected data, which is coming from source. Okay, so either you can use sequential file stage or you can use peak. Okay. So here to capture the rejects, you can use sequential file stage. But I don't want data to be captured. I want only to be viewed. So in that scenario, you can use peak stage. Now click on OK. So now save, compile and run this job. Click on run. So now let's see. So in the output. So job started running. So here you can see. Yeah, now you can see here. So again, 4 records got rejected. Now let's see the output. So here output you can view here, view data. And meantime, let's view the output in the file. So this is the one, EMP pattern. So here we have sorted the data also. So here MGR. So here data you can see here, it has been sorted out. Okay. Now close. Okay. So here you can see total how many records? Control, shift, control, arrow button down. So 57. So one is header, right? Total 56 records got loaded. Okay. So here also you can see the 56 records. Okay. So to view the data, right click, view data. This is one option. Another option is directly click on the sequential file stage. Here view data. Here also you can view the data. So you should be aware of all these options. It is taking time. You can see here. Okay. So any questions, guys? Any questions, any doubts?
Sir, in the source file, there is total 56 report or 60 reports as you are discussing for this.
56 process, 4 got rejected. Okay.
That 4 we are discussing, right? That it is not going to the next step, right?
Yes. It is getting discovered. Now, how we can handle this? So here 4 even rejected records also I need to share it to target. Okay. So how we can send to target these 4 rejected records? Okay. So how we can handle null data? So null data can be handled here. Let me take as a fresh step, save as. So this is another scenario, right? 6. File pattern, null data handle. Okay. So click on save. Okay. So here you can see. Double click here. So here the first step is you need to go to format. Okay. And here you need to handle the null field value single space to handle the nulls. And here nullability should be no. Sorry, nullability should be yes to handle the null values means. Here you have to define null field value single space as we did earlier. Nullability define as 2s so that entire records will be processed. Yes. Click on yes. Click on yes. Click on yes. That's it. Okay. And since we are handling the nulls, the data will be, you won't go to rejects. Now click on OK. So now let's sort it in descending order. So order method I will change to descending order. Okay. Now go to here output, it is still no. Now what we can do, delete this. We have made change that input, right? Now control A, drag and drop. Okay. So now it has been yes. Now click on OK. Okay. So here, let me close this file. Now save, compile and run this button. So here I will be deleting all the files here. This is the output. Okay. Click on run. Cap started running. Okay. All the 60 records got processed. Now let's see the output. So here you can see in descending order, you can see here employee number 7934. Okay. So 7934, 7902, 7900. You can see the numbers are in sorted order from descending to ascending. Okay. So why here only this 56 records came? So what might be the reason? It should get to 60, right? Why here? What is the issue? It looks like 60 got loaded, but in our output, we are seeing only 56. Total 57 are there, one is header. So what might be the issue? Now let's see in the log, okay? So here you can see sequential file 1. So in the sequential file 1, here we have not defined the null field value. Warning, it is throwing, we have not handled the nulls. Okay. So here imported warning. I mean, like not import, exported warning. Exporting the data to a file, it got rejected for MGL. So now how we can handle this? So by go to format, handle the null field value. That's it. Okay. And set the nullability to yes. Already I have set it to yes. So even if you define nullability yes, and if you don't define null field value single space, data will get rejected. Okay. So now click on OK and rerun the job now. Okay, so here you can see now. Let's go to the output again. See here, 61 records. So that means one is header. Total 60 records got loaded. Okay. So that's it, guys. So this is the way to handle the null data. So any questions here? No questions? All good?
Sir, I have one question.
Yeah, please.
Sir, whatever the file till now we have used here, see for all the files there is a header. But for the files, if there is no header, only data is there, then how we can, the table definition we can do there?
So whenever there is no header, what you can do is here, you can set it to false. Some file header is there, some file is not header. So
Then in the column field, we need to choose the column manually.
So when there is no header, then you have to set it to false. Okay.
Yeah, but sir, in the field of column, can you please go to the column? Do you need to do the column name manually? No, because in case of column here, we are loading the data as a table definition, right?
Yes, yes.
So in case there is no header, so how we can define column? We need to do manually.
Manually. So for example, no data is there. Only header is there. So
No, no,
will
no header. Data is there, but no header.
no empty file.
Data is there. Some 100 records is there, but there is no header.
Header.
Column name is
Okay.
not mentioned.
Yeah. That time you have to enter manually. So if the header is not received from the file, okay, so they will be provide the layout sheet. Okay. So first column, this is the employee number, data type integer, length is so and so. Nullability, yes or no. So those details they will mention.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Yes, I'm getting some background disturbance, background noise. Yeah. Any other questions, guys?
Second, can we pull only limited files, like in a source file, if it is 10 files, can you pull only 3 to 4?
You can more than that with all these patterns, and if the delimiter should match, so only those records will be processed. So there
In
is
that
no
source file, we have 3 files folder. We have 3 files, so we pulled all the 3 files. My question is like, can we uh, pull only 2 if there is 10 files?
not like that. We can pull all the files, but the pattern how you are defining, okay, so that should be in sync. So here emp underscore this one, emp underscore this pattern should be same. So all that files will be, it can be read.
Like for example, for today's date, for different timing, there are 4 folders, 4 files.
4 files, different timing. Yeah, all this will be processed.
Okay, 4 files will be processed, right? Or
Yes, yes. So after underscore, what star means what? Anything.
Okay, got it.
Okay. And we need to make sure the delimiter should be same. Okay, because if the delimiter is not same, even the file name is sync, then those records will be not processed to the next stage. This will be rejected in the source stage itself, source sequential file stage itself. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions? So what are the challenges? Let me stop the recording. So with this session, we have concluded the session for today. And on Monday, we will discuss how we can handle the data types. How we can read the data from multiple data types. Not multiple. Fixed width file. How we can read the data for a fixed width file. Data type conversions. That we will see in Monday session. Okay. And filter concepts, or we can go through file set stage. Okay. Read data from fixed width file. And the next one is read data from fixed width file. Another one is data type conversion. So how we can convert one data type to another data type. So that we will see in Monday session, and file set. If time permits, file set. Yeah.